Nick, so before we get into how you got to where you are now, let's start with how you began. Do you remember your first attempt to make your first euro online? What did you try?
I did. So I was basically in my mother's house, and I was very scared to hop on my first ever sales call. It was basically a sales call to sell myself to become an appointment setter for somebody else, right? And that was, I would say, very scary because I was not confident at all in front of camera, in front of people, even in front of DMs. I was very scared. So I took my chance because I had to change my life at that point. And what I basically did is I had a call with that person. I expressed my value in the best way I could for me to be able to get the chance to become that appointment setter for that US based company. And I did it. I nailed it. I basically worked for that company for only a month, for 30 days. Everybody on my YouTube basically knows. I'm always very transparent about my story, but it went very fast. So I made my first dollar around 4 days later, working as an appointment setter, earning my commission, getting paid out extremely fast. That was, I think, one of the best times of my life where I received the most amount of dopamine within a couple hours, making small money online
Yeah.
compared to the situation now.
So straight away, one of your first calls, you managed to close someone and you hit the ground running.
Yes, correct. It was kind of like a triage caller in combination with a DM setter. I just managed the entire part of the sales funnel where I basically got people on a call to make sure that the sales closer can close them very easily, to warm them up. And then ultimately I got a 5% commission on that.
Nice. You mentioned
2023 in January. So it's a very short time ago, 1.5 years ago.
okay. You mentioned you quit school because you wanted to start your own business. What were you studying?
I was studying retail business. So basically business management. Out of the books out of 1990. So it was very outdated. And I realized it was very interesting because the moment I realized when I dropped out of school in 2022 in the beginning, kind of beginning middle. The reason why is because basically the teacher that I had was not running a company himself, and I had to learn how to run a company from my own teacher. So I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. This doesn't make any sense. So I was like, yeah, why am I doing this? Based on somebody that doesn't even know how to run a real company, doesn't have team members, doesn't have proper systems, automations in place. And I was like, yeah, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So I dropped out. I figured out my own path, and that brought me to the situation where I'm at now, man.
Yeah, that makes sense. I mean, business school is run by people that don't run businesses, right?
Correct.
So
It's a
it's
system,
confusing.
and it's like, I would say it's a good system, right? Like you don't really have an option if you want to go to school or not, but I would say it's a proper system for most people because most people just don't, they either don't want to have the responsibility to be able to run their own business. But yeah, it was not for me, man. It was not for me.
Yeah, I get it. So you went for appointment setter in the beginning. What made you choose that over other things that may have been even more popular at the time, like drop shipping, e-commerce, agency? What made you choose appointment setting as your first attempt?
When I was 19 years old, I had a notebook and I was writing down every single business model in terms of profitability, in terms of efficiency, in terms of how much upfront capital it needed, I needed to invest for me to be able to make that work. And I just figured out that learning a skill is probably the best thing that I can do instead of starting my business from scratch. Because everybody was going into dropshipping, everybody was going into SMMA back in the big days with Iman Gadzi selling his course. And I was like, no, I gotta learn how to become valuable for other companies. How can I make sure that when I work with a business owner, he cannot miss out on me? If I can become so valuable that I provide that person a lot of value, he will keep paying me. And that is the path that I choose instead of going in the dropshipping route or SMMA route, starting my own business.
So you thought, okay, I need to make myself irreplaceable, and that way I can just
Correct.
constantly give value. And that's why you chose appointment setter, because you just felt I
Exactly.
can get
Yeah.
more done.
The more valuable I became for that company, the more I made sure that he cannot get rid of me, the
Yeah.
more money I would make,
Yeah.
and I think becoming irreplaceable is one of the most valuable things you can do. And it's not only within a, worker employee perspective, but it's also from a perspective of business. When you provide people solution and it's so extremely unique and you can really add a lot of value to that solution in which you can make people believe that they actually need it based on their pain. People would pay you 10, 20, 30,000 up front.
Mm.
if not 100,000, if you have such a great solution. As long
Yeah.
as it solves somebody else's problem and it's worth that amount of money, people would pay.
You showed in a video that you stopped doing your agency. I believe that was called Advanced Setter. Is that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Advanced setter.
And then you scaled it to like $100,000 equivalent per month.
Correct.
Why? First of all, congratulations, because that's insane results. I've never seen anything like that. How did you make the decision to stop doing that and then transition to going from agency to consulting with Grow Acquisition?
Very good structure. Very good question. So I realized that my purpose in life doesn't go in line with the business that I run. It was high operations, high systems. I worked 70 to 80 hours a week. It was not efficient. I worked a lot. I had a big fulfillment with a huge team, fulfilling on a lot of services for my clients, and it made the money. That was absolutely no problem. I would say it was kind of low profit margin. It was 65% profit margin. And I realized, okay, the amount of money that I have right now, it's very good. I have a sustainable life. I can do whatever I want. I moved to Dubai when I made my first 100K month. You probably saw. So it was great. It was very good. I had a lot of experience. I gained a lot of experience in terms of operations, running teams, running systems, implementing infrastructures in other companies. But I wanted to run a more efficient model. I wanted to help people in a way where I feel extremely comfortable learning other people and implementing other people, giving them accountability, giving them communication in terms of helping them learn how they could grow their company. So I realized, okay, wait, if I go into the consulting coaching route, with the track record I have right now, based on what I've built with my agency, I can basically implement that and help other people do the exact same thing. And I think the info product market is way more scalable, way more efficient than the done for you agency type of approach. So that is the direction I decided to take after I hit my first 6-figure month with my agency.
How did you get your first clients for each business? Because that's something that people will often wonder. You mentioned with Advanced Setter, it was a cold call, right?
Correct. So that was with my when I learned the skill of appointment setting. When it comes down to my agency in February 2023, so a month later, so I pivoted really quickly. I was an appointment setter for 30 days because I realized very quickly, like, okay, wait, I'm fulfilling this service right now for another business owner, but what if I package this into a service myself and sell that to other people?
Why not just do the whole thing?
Yes, exactly. So it was cold DMs, basically sending cold DMs. And I can tell you one thing for every single viewer that is watching right now: action solves problems. Most people are overthinking and they're not taking action, and they're trying to do a lot of things and create a lot of opportunities, try to pick the right thing, but action solves everything. Yeah. I was doing 100 outreaches every single day consistently, and I was trying to become better at it. And after a week, I got my first client.
Because was that DMs or was that cold calling or what?
That was called DMs.
Okay.
So I did DM as a setter in combination with triers calling. So making sure that, I warm up people, that stuff. And then I went into only doing cold DMs because I just realized that cold DMs is extremely efficient back then. And I would still say right now, there's a lot of opportunity within it. Half of my business is running on it, So
with cold DMs, especially on Instagram, how do you think, what's the best way to get noticed? Because obviously when you send a cold DM on Instagram to someone that's not following you, it's going to go into their general tab, right? Correct. So you might get lost. Yes. Is there a magic trick to that being seen?
Yes, absolutely. And we can talk about my SaaS later on. I'm building that right now, but specifically said, today at 7 p.m. CAT, I'm launching a video about cold DM script and how to acquire the right clients, because in today's world, there are too many people that cannot seem to make that profitable based on the outreach message, the conversion, right, within the DM. So they don't know the conversational flow, how to optimize that, how to structure that for them to be able to make a lot of money and convert people into calls. Because the purpose of a conversation is to book people in calls, not to sell people anything, right? That is what the closer does. In combination with the right operations, because most people can just not seem to figure out how to send 200 to 300 messages a day consistently. It is so efficient when you understand how to do it, but most people don't understand how to hire the right people or implement the right systems for them to be able to make that work. And most people are cutting off at that point, and that is why they don't think it works. But it's the same with ads, right? Ads, you should test before you make something work.
Yeah, absolutely. So going more into appointment setters and VAs, you mentioned in your first YouTube video that you would have an appointment setter doing 300 outbound messages a day. So is that something like 150 Instagram, 150 Facebook?
Yes, we were managing that on Facebook and Instagram. Although after a certain point, we went fully into Instagram. My ICP, my ideal customer profile, is on Instagram. So I was doubling down on Instagram. You should always double down on something that works, right? When you have an ad that works, you'll spend more money on it because it works. So it was very good structure.
I want to give you a scenario and ask how you would change your approach for each. Say one business has an offer is $97 a month. Second business has an offer that's $297 a month. And then the third offer is $2K a month, a bit more traditional agency high ticket offer. In regards to using appointment setters and VAs, how many should you have in each scenario, and how do you judge their results with such different order values? So let's start with the $97 a month.
Within $97 a month, I'm questioning myself if you would even need a team, because normally you're running a school operation, you're running a community operation, right? Things like that. And you can automate that or SaaS, right? You can automate that pretty efficiently. So is it worth acquiring an appointment setter for that specific scenario to acquire customers that are worth, let's say, $100 a month? Could be. But what would be way more efficient in that scenario is basically building an ascension process, building an upsell offer, and getting appointment setters into that group for people that are already in there to convert people into the high ticket offer, right? I have a lot of clients that I help that have $97 offers. They sell them on autopilot with ads, with outbound very easily, without a team, without setters, just on autopilot. But there's a setter within the Skool group, within the area, within the world they're going into for them to be able to get upsold. And you have so many sales metrics, and you have an entire sales funnel that you can acquire with setters, converting mechanisms, YouTube videos, lead magnets, cash campaigns to make sure that people pay for your upsell, because that is ultimately the play, right? Like MRR is very nice, and so many people are preaching MRR, but a $10,000 upfront payment it's not bad either.
Yeah. So okay, that makes sense.
For the 297 one, I would say it's kind of similar. The main thing that you should think of if you're selling a product under $1,000, in my opinion, is making sure your marketing and your messaging is so dialed. Understand who you're targeting, what their pain points are, what the solution is you're presenting, and then you can sell that to them on autopilot. You don't need sales closers. You don't need setters.
So what would you do then to sell it?
So
how would you sell it? If you're not using a cold callers or appointment setters, what would be your preferred method for that kind of value, like offer?
Yes. I think every single person that can afford less than $1,000 desires a certain outcome, and that is normally $10,000 a month. So I would track data based on what that person wants. So let's say the desired outcome for most people is to make money online when they invest in a course that is less than 1,000. So when you have that data on what you want and what that ICP is, you can play towards that. So for example, lifestyle is a very important factor for people to make money online. So when you build a brand on Instagram about lifestyle, about showing your lifestyle, about doing CDAs within your Instagram, like building up client results, building up your profile, your social presence, you will become very valuable to these people. But when I acquire a customer that is going to pay me $30,000 up front, it doesn't really care about lifestyle less. So I got to find out what that person specifically wants for me to be able to build a sales funnel around it, right? Mm-hmm. And the way you can do that is by implementing the right messaging on your YouTube or on things on your fucking social channels, whatever you do.
So shape your offer to their desire.
Exactly. Like the reason why I'm here today making a podcast, it will attract a certain person, right? Like some people will like it, some people don't like it, but that's based on the things that I say and the value that I have to provide. And for some people it will be valuable, for the people it won't be. And that's messaging. The things that you say automatically attracts the people that you want. So your messaging should be different for that type of stuff. I think Iman did it great. Agency Navigator, he did great stuff. He was leveraging lifestyle correctly. He had one sales funnel, agencynavigator.com, and he just sold that with ads and his branding. Perfect. YouTube was a main thing for him.
Yeah. All of his funnels just came from YouTube.
Yes.
I saw you took 7 clients to Greece. That looked like a pretty amazing trip. Can you tell me about that?
That was one of the best experiences in my life.
Yeah.
It was extremely fulfilling. And I'm going to do that again. So in around 1.5 months, we're going to Dubai. In around 4.5 months, we're going to Cape Town. It is the most insane experience that I've ever had. And the reason for that is because You have acquired customers, you provided them a solution, they got results based on that, and now you can travel with them in person to be able to have amazing experiences. So
Yeah.
I think in the online world we live in right now, a lot of people are keeping it online. But I think when you do in-person stuff with your clients, when you engage with them in a very nice way, when you interact with them, when you have experience with them, real life experiences, it just is, it's cherry on top. It's the most insane step that you can ever take. Although what most people don't know, it's an upsell method as well, right? When I do this 4 times a year and I host a mastermind of 7 people, it's first of all an extra income. Second of all, it's a lot of social proof for my brand, because one testimonial can make me an extra 200K. The Greece client retreat, it made me a lot of money. So it's a smart upsell. When you do that 4 times a year, calculate it in combination with the consulting offer I run, it's a sweet spot. It's a perfect scenario. These 2 offers,
Yeah.
the one-on-one
Good.
and the in person.
Yeah. Good place to take a business trip, huh?
Yeah, there.
I get the impression you split your time between Netherlands and Dubai. I imagine the Dubai part is probably for the tax benefits, right?
Correct.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes. Dubai
Do
is
you
mainly for tax benefits.
what do you think of Dubai? Overrated or underrated?
Um, at the moment, underrated. Within 6 months to 3 years from now, the chances that it will become overrated will be there. I personally like it in terms of networking, in terms of course, tax benefits. It's amazing, and in terms of the opportunity you have to connect with people, your mindset will increase a lot. I made the most amount of money in Dubai, but the
Why
air
is that?
quality, nature is something I miss. Sorry.
Why is that? Why do you think you made the most money in Dubai? Is it because you met people that became clients,
Because
or is it just being
no,
around people with a different mindset?
correct. Because of
Yeah.
opportunity. Your world is going to open in terms of opportunity, in terms of connections, in terms of people that you interact with, the people that you meet. It's such small things that can make you so much money and that give you insights from being around the right people that will make you make different decisions. And based on these decisions, you get a different outcome, right? And normally, when you hang around the right people and you trust the decisions that you're making from your own perspective, you will be able to get amazing results. So, yeah, confidence with the right connections and a good plan behind that is gonna make you millions.
I saw that you've been to Cape Town and Portugal. What other spots do you like for like kind of work life balance, like somewhere nice to work, somewhere where you can work but also live good lifestyle? Do you have any other favorite spots?
Yes, I think the sweet spot is it's like going to either 3 countries for 4 months or 4 countries to like for every like 3 months. 12
Yeah.
months out of the year. I would say Dubai, Cape Town. Personally, I like Italy a lot. I lived in Italy for 3 years with my parents, so Italy is amazing. It's absolutely
Whereabouts?
sorry.
Whereabouts in Italy?
In Le Marche. Le Marche is like Mascherata. It's amazing. It's
Okay.
perfect.
Nice.
Drinking red wine, eating cheese, just chilling there. It's a vibe. Italy, Dubai, Cape Town, and I would say maybe Scandinavia, Norway, Denmark could be
Mm.
nice. Like not the main places. I've been there. It's not really, but like the mountains and stuff. It's really nice. It's really
Have you
good.
been to Warsaw in Poland?
Yes, I've been to. I've been there
That's a
last year.
great spot.
Yes, it's a very good spot. It's not
Yeah.
really, you cannot really network with the right people. I wouldn't say it's not like Dubai,
Mm.
but it's a really aesthetic, chill, good vibe. So, yeah, I would say that's a great spot as well.
Yeah. 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 For me, I think Warsaw and Lisbon, in terms of in Europe, two of
Lisbon,
my favorite spots. Lisbon's
that's great. What do you like about Lisbon?
it's got a good vibe. You got the beach, you got the ocean. The city's not too big. It has like a nice historic feel to it. It's good. I mean, I saw you in Portugal. Was that somewhere
It
outside
was
of Lisbon?
Albufeira. No, it was down. It was more down.
Down.
But
Yeah.
Lisbon is, I have a friend that I go to. We go to Italy, to Tuscany in like 2 weeks. I go there with a friend who lives in Lisbon, and he tells it's amazing as well. He wants to grow a family there.
Yeah. It's also good for digital nomads. I think they have good tax benefits for that. I don't know
Correct. It's like
what the
11% in Portugal, right?
it's
Correct.
something I don't know
11,
offhand.
12.
It's low. It's low enough that it's attractive. So
Exactly.
not as attractive as Dubai, but for Europe, it's
For
attractive, right?
Europe, it's. I think yeah, that's a good point.
When you go to with the tax thing in Dubai. So in the UK, if I wanted to become not have to pay tax, and I would have to renounce my tax citizenship in the UK, and then I can only be in the UK a maximum of 3 months of the year. Is it a similar deal for for you for the Netherlands, or is
Within
it?
the Netherlands, it's 6 months. Although I have to be more in Dubai, basically, I have to, the most amount of time I have to be in Dubai. So let's say I'm traveling around every single month to a different country, and I'm 40 days in Dubai, and then the rest of the 11 countries for like 28 days, 30 days, perfect. Then that's fine. As long as I'm more in Dubai than the rest of the countries. So yes, but I cannot be, of course, I cannot be in the Netherlands for more than 6 months. Within the Netherlands, it's 6 months. But normally I will be in Dubai for at least 3 months. And the reason for that is because you get a tax certificate. So whenever you get that tax certificate, you just have the proof and the concept of like, yo, I live in Dubai, I have my stuff here. And I'm very safe with that. I'm just, I have some people that play high risk on that, but I'm like, yeah, I don't want the government to come after me in like 5 years. Yo, Nick, oh wait, you weren't in Dubai? I gotta pay some tax. No,
Yeah, here's a big bill. Yeah, you don't want
here's a
that.
big bill. Exactly.
I agree with something you said on one of your videos, which was keep business lean and simple. And that some of your business friends have maybe grown and they've got to a point where they're doing bigger numbers, but they have maybe 10 times the stress, right? Because they have a team, an office, they have all these people working for them on salary. What do you think is the key to keeping it simple, but at the same time still being able to scale to the kind of 100K a month numbers that you got to? How do you find that kind of balance?
That's a good question. First of all, simplicity scales, in my opinion, right? I think you're going to get to a certain level where simplicity is not the key factor anymore that allows you to scale. After $1 million a month, you should have systems, operations, and more team members for you to be able to make more money. Like I would say after 500K a month. But when your goal is to profit 200-300K a month, you can run a very lean team with easy operations and a well-structured business. And the way to do that, in my opinion, is by it's in my opinion all about marketing. When you set the front end of the company right, the back end will be so easy to run, right? It's if you acquire 10 clients at 10K and you don't overpromise stuff and you just tell them exactly what they get and your marketing is in line with that, your social proof is in line with that, and they'll pay you for 1 hour a week, right? Then you basically make 100,000 a month with 10 hours a week of input. Of course, there are other input metrics when it comes down to making content, when it comes down to managing your small team, lean team, when it comes down to, but you're basically working 20 to 30 hours a week while making 100K a month. I have some friends that run a 300 to 500K a month operation, but they have 12 sales closers, they have 7 appointment setters, they have 2 operational managers, and they make less profit than I do. So it's an option. It's a decision that you make. And the most important thing, what do you want to work on yourself? I like to work with clients and I like to work on content. So everything else I want to outsource, and I run a business based on that. I have guys that like to manage a big team, that like to manage big operations. So whenever that is a desire that you have, then you should go for that. And nothing is wrong or bad, right? It's not wrong or bad. It's about what you want, in my opinion.
Yeah, it's about creating the lifestyle so that you can live
Exactly.
as you wish.
The
If you're
lifestyle you
someone,
want. Making money, we can all make so much money. There's so much money in this world. There's no hurry about making money, but time is limited. So choose about what you want, and about the decisions that you make are very important, and it will set you up for a lifetime. The decisions I make between 18 and 25 will be dependent on how my life will go in the future.
yeah, well, it's definitely going in a good direction, right? You talked about a problem being that people don't over deliver for their clients. I think that was a good point. Could you expand on that? For example, what kind of ways should people aim to over deliver?
Can you rephrase the question?
Because you mentioned in one of your videos that a mistake agency owners or consultants make is that they don't over deliver for their clients. They don't do more than they should. So they do the bare minimum.
Yes. So the main thing that I have seen in what clients need and how you can get amazing client results, the best client results within the market, because I absolutely believe that I have the best client results within the market compared to anybody else. In comparison to the amount of clients I have and the results that I've generated, it's insane. The reason why has not specifically 100% anything to do with the fulfillment. It has to do with the client, first of all, that you attract, the expectations that you set for that client, and the way you structure your guarantee, the way you structure refunds and all that type of stuff. When you don't overpromise people a lot and when you don't set the wrong expectation, you save 75% of the headache. I have people that don't have a good fulfillment, but that still get client results and that still have happy clients. I have people that have an amazing fulfillment, promise too much, have too crazy guarantees in place, and have, their messaging is not in line. Their clients ask for refunds and disputes. So it's understanding what people really want, right? People don't care about the mechanism. People just want the outcome, and people want the experience. The customer journey, the experience is more important than the outcome. There are people that cannot get the outcome but had an amazing experience working with you and are happy, and other people got an amazing outcome but still don't like you as a person. Because I think the biggest thing that people underestimate is they don't understand what their clients actually want. I think personally, every single person that onboards a client should do a 1-hour analyzation call to figure out who that person is. How can you work with people and deliver a certain solution if you don't know, if you don't know who somebody is, especially when you work one-on-one, in my opinion.
Yeah, makes sense. You talk about leverage also in your videos quite a lot.
Yes.
In what way should people who run agencies or SaaS companies, for example, be using leverage in a way that maybe they're not?
First of all, see where you dedicate your time towards. So when you understand where you dedicate your time towards, what most people don't even know, most people couldn't even answer that question, then you know what you should automate and delegate, right? And the most easiest way to delegate and automate stuff is by hiring labor, so people, an appointment setter, a closer, all these types of people, or systems, implementing automations to make things more efficient. The way of creating leverage is basically by eliminating time from your own perspective, making sure that other people fulfill that specific task for you, so that the task still gets fulfilled on. Because most things, and I talked about this a lot as well, you have 5 components, right, within a business. You have offer, acquisition, conversion, team, and systems, and fulfillment. And whenever the first 2 components get attention and the other 4 won't, you don't have a consistent business, because you're acquiring new attention, you're getting new clients, but at the same time, who's fulfilling for the existing clients? So you got to hop to your fulfillment. You got to work on that, but then nobody's getting into deals. So you won't make any money. There's the components aren't optimized. And that is where you create leverage. The first 2 ways of creating leverage, labor or systems, when you go more advanced, you can go into like code, building software. That's exactly what I'm doing right now. As well as media. Media is one of the first one that I should probably choose above labor, because labor is something that you need to manage. It's something that costs money. Same with systems. Media is free. I can sell somebody a course. I can sell 1,000 people a 20-minute course, and these 1,000 people can go through the same material all the time. That saves me 1,000 one-on-one calls. So I would say media is key.
Yeah. So you've obviously, the only thing with media is obviously it's time as opposed to money.
Exactly.
So there is a cost,
and it's not
but
even
it's
a
a
lot of
one-time cost.
Exactly. It's time cost. And I would personally say that like everybody involves time. Hiring people involves time, right? Building a SaaS involves time. Building whatever, a system build costs time. But media is so efficient compared to the output that it could generate. Because what if your video gets 2 views? Maybe it wasn't worth the time input. But what if it does work? Then you made it.
Yeah, and not every video is going to be a hit, but consistency will get you a few hits at least, and then that will be what gets you going, right?
Yes, I think consistency in action is key.
Yep. You've got a lot of testimonials, which means you've probably noticed a lot of patterns in things that people are doing wrong who want to get to 10K a month. What's usually the main things that people are not doing correctly when they come to you?
That's a good question. First of all, I come back to the point of action. Most people they have the wrong expectations. Based on what they've seen on social media, they have the wrong expectations on how and building an actual company looks like. They don't understand shit. They don't know shit. They don't even have an idea. They just want to make money online and they think they can make that happen within 30 days. You can, absolutely. But the expectations that you set for yourself are dependent on the actions you're going to take and how fast you're going to quit. Right? So that is the first thing. The second thing, I would say it's extremely important to get a mentor. Get a mentor. Why doing it yourself? If you can pay other people money, or if you can leverage your time in a certain way to work for them, to be able to learn that so extremely fast. Getting a mentor is the main thing on how I think you can achieve success as quickly as possible. Not only from a communication perspective, but from an accountability perspective, from somebody to give you the right expectations. When somebody hops on a call with me and wants to scale to 20K with his business, I'm saying, okay, listen, this is exactly what we need to do. This is what we did. This is what needs to happen. Yeah, Nick, I thought it will happen way faster. No, it's not how it's happening. So like it's a very important process to set the expectations right, give the accountability, give the communication so you can get to that end result. So basically, when you are willing to take action, you can promise yourself that you won't quit and you get help from the right person. It's impossible to lose. It's impossible to lose.
Not taking enough action, not having a mentor to speed up the learning process,
Yes,
basically.
like why would you figure it all out yourself? I'm here to leverage my time or my money, and right now I have money, so I'm leveraging as much money as I have for me to be able to get the solution. Like I'm not leveraging my time anymore. I'm not here to. If I can pay with money, I would always choose money above time all the fucking time. But
of course.
Whenever you don't have money, you should leverage your time in a certain way. So it's a very easy decision. But when people have a couple grand saved up, invest into a course that they like. Because, same with courses. I wouldn't say courses are bad. The most thing with courses is that the creator, the founder who sells the course has create a very general solution for some specific people that could benefit from it. Only 10% can. But the other 90% doesn't really need the course because they don't need that value at that specific point. But people still enroll people in that course. So that's why a course normally gets a 10% success rate or a 5% success rate.
Yeah, because once they finish the course, they're left alone. And that's the problem.
They're left alone. They don't have accountability. Nobody to go to, because people pay for accountability and communication. They don't pay for a certain system.
If you hadn't chosen to be to start as an appointment setter and you were looking at the market now, what do you think you would have chosen? I mean, there's one emerging space is this growth operator / Skool niche. Do you think you would have gone into that, or do you think you still would have ended up kind of doing the same thing you did?
I think that is a great solution. But one question, something I asked myself in the growth operating niche is, how can you ever help a creator make more money and build a course and build the entire backend and build the entire operation sales funnel if you've never done it yourself while learning it from another course? Why would people go to a beginner and tell them, you know what, John, help me build I can help you build your course, right? And then, they go with, if they can go with me. If I have so much social proof, credibility, the best results, why would they not go to me on how to build a course? Why would they go to a random beginner that can potentially help them build and structure a course? People don't even have a clue about how difficult it is to structure an actual good course. People don't have a clue. Not even 1%. People think it's just some video material, put it into a course and it's done. No, building a course is, I would say, the most making a course work and building a good course is the most complicated thing ever. So how can you do that as a beginner? It's physically impossible. I haven't even figured it out. I'm in business for 1.5 years. I've made 6 figures a month consistently, above that. Still right now, I'm a business doing consistently 6 figures a month. And I would say I haven't even figured out how to build a course, an actual good course that gives a 90% plus success rate. It's impossible. That's why I'm doing one-on-one, bro. Like I'm doing one-on-one to make that work, to get my testimonials in for the upcoming 3 years. And then I can go into selling a course.
So what you're doing now it's consultancy, or is it done with you or done for you? What is it?
It is it's basically providing people an offer where I basically help them build and scale their own offer. So it's basically a 6-month one-on-one process where I help them go from where they are right now to the goal that they want to get to. And normally it are people, my ICP is somebody that's between 2 to, I would say, 10,000 a month that wants to get to $100,000 a month in 6 months. We lay out the entire roadmap of what needs to happen, building on the 5 main pillars that I told you about. Offer, model, pricing, restructuring, marketing, messaging, acquisition, cold DMs, completely mastered that, YouTube, ads, all that type of stuff. Then we have conversion, sales funnels, email sequences, Instagram sequences, teams, implementing the right people, and then systems, plus fulfillment.
And so you work with people for 6 months, you put all these systems in place for them so that they can scale up from where they are to where they want to be.
Exactly, exactly. And most people don't understand their own problems. So we first got to figure out their own problems. And then we got to find a suitable solution that solves that as quickly as possible. Speed is also so important. People underestimate the importance of speed. With a course, you can't create speed, but with one-on-one, you can. So because that accountability is not there, the communication isn't there. So solving problems, if you can solve a problem fast, a big problem fast for a specific person within a specific niche, you'll become wealthy, you become rich.
You mentioned a few times that you're looking, or you're building a SaaS company. What can you tell us, if anything, about that?
I can tell you a little bit about that. It will be my first time talking about this. So it's very interesting. I started it around 2.5 months ago. I have a team of 4 developers and 2 designers that are currently building on it. I cannot tell you the exact details, but what we're basically building is an add-up on product based on what I've already created for my consulting company. This product will first be available to only my clients. So I'm going to upsell around 10 to 15 people a month into this SaaS product. And what the SaaS product basically does, it like physically eliminates all the work in terms of interacting with a prospect to getting that prospect into your calendar. It eliminates everything. The work when it comes down to outreaching, finding the leads, having a conversation, booking them in, all that stuff. So that is basically what I can tell you about it.
So you're going to test it out with your clients first, and then maybe go to the mass market after that.
Yeah, I only want to, when I'm 100% sure that it's going to work, I want to, when I've validated the offer so much and I've gathered like tons of data points, I'm maybe willing to, announce it to the market publicly, because I have a brand, so I can sell it easily. That won't be a problem, but I want to make sure it's good. If it's actually good, the churn will be under 2%. And then I know I have a product that I can, and in 2020, 2024, 2027, I can sell it for fucking 10 million plus if it's good.
Yeah. So build it up slowly, then scale it, and then maybe one day sell it.
Yes, the entire purpose is to build a product that is as good as possible, that is so extremely good, where I can basically solve such a big problem. It's like the Tesla model. I want to do the Tesla model. So making sure that I can provide the most amount of value for the highest quality car, the highest quality software for the cheapest price. So if I can solve that problem, most people are they're just flabbergasted, by like it won't even compete with ads anymore. It's like you can book meetings for $5 to $15 with your ICP, with the complete ideal client that you need. With ads right now, the metrics on Facebook is $200 to $300. So the only optimization that I focus on is efficiency, is decreasing time input, and it's making sure that they get the best for the cheapest price. It's the only 4 things that I've told my team that we're working on right now.
Sounds interesting. When do you think it will be launched?
I would say in around 1-2 months. Whenever the complete product is finished, I would say by the end of the year.
End of the year. Okay, I'll look out for that. In terms of your approach to marketing that, have you decided how you're going to do it? Apart from leveraging your personal brand, which you're building and building and building, in terms of to the public, have you decided how you're going to pitch it?
I have a call in around 1.5 hours with one of my friends where I literally go to discuss that entire point for 2 hours. So no, I haven't figured it out. I got to find the right balance between marketing my one-on-one and marketing my software company. I got to find the right balance I got to find the right balance in that, but I don't want to publicly launch it before. I'm not sure yet when, but like preferably not, because I don't need it to make money. And I just want to build the best product first, because when it's ultimately the best product, it's a referral acquisition process where my clients tell it to my clients and their clients to their clients, and I can get in 500 people within a couple months. And then it's at, 100, 200K MRR. So then the software is worth 10 mil if I can get it to that point. So I'm not in a hurry. I'm in a hurry in terms of testing the product and making it good. I'm not in a hurry in terms of making money.
Yeah, you're in a hurry to get it done, but not in a hurry to rush it into market.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay. Can you announce the name?
No, I can't.
No, yeah. Okay.
I'll tell you soon. I'll shoot you a DM after a podcast.
Okay.
I cannot publicly say that yet.
Okay. The time will come.
Will come.
So in terms of mindset and learning, why do you think most people get stuck at less than 10K a month? Because obviously most people, that's the magic number in their head. 10K a
Yes.
month. It's just everybody says the same number, right? It's like almost like a clickbait at this point.
Yes.
What do you think holds people back from getting to 10K a month?
There are two main reasons. One is unclarity, and the reason why they get unclear is because they have too much opportunity. There's just too much opportunity out there right now. You can make too many decisions. So that gives people too much. 99% of the information that people have is false information that is probably not true of the way they perceive it to be true. So that means that making a decision is going to be very hard. And when you cannot make a decision, you're basically procrastinating. When you're procrastinating, you're unclear and you have no clarity about what decision to make, what to do. And that is where action comes into place. People cannot take action because they're procrastinating too much. But that makes so much sense because I'm telling you to do this. You're telling you to do that. John is telling him to do IPGA, growth operating. Other people need to start an SMMA, and everything works. That is a fact. Everything, like 90% has proven to be working still till the day of today. But I think success in business, getting to your first $10,000 a month is literally making sure that you don't set yourself up for failure. If you choose the right business model, you have access to the right people, and you have access to the right information, you're already 50 to 70% there. The actual work isn't complicated.
Right.
It's your mind, it's the business model, and it's the actions you're going to take in the beginning, the first few weeks, for you to be able to set the foundation right for yourself. Because the actual work it's not complicated. It's easy to learn, but I would say it's unclarity, too much opportunity, too much people saying too many random things on the internet, and you got to stick to somebody. Listen, if people want to watch my YouTube, please only watch me and commit to exactly what I'm telling you every single video, and I'll guarantee you'll be successful. Does that mean I'm the only one that is perfect in terms of explaining things? And of course not. Some people won't resonate with me, some people will, but I know for a fact that if you stick to one person that you feel comfortable with, in terms of learning from, in terms of getting information from, and you do exactly what that person tells you to do, it's mentally impossible and physically impossible not to hit 10,000 a month. But if you listen to 20 people and you take all their information and you gather it together in one big bucket and you'll pick up some random things out of it, you'll create unclarity. You don't know what to do anymore.
Which books have helped you, if any, in your entrepreneurial journey?
0. I've never read a book in my entire life. I cannot read a book.
Really?
No. If I sit down and I read a book, after the first 3 sentences, I'm going back into work.
You just Gary Vaynerchuk. Do you know who that is?
Yes.
He says the same thing. It's like,
retarded.
I learn from doing, not from reading about doing.
I cannot read a book. I just don't have the focus to read a book.
Okay.
It's like I'm so bored when I read the first 3 sentences. I'm like, what am I doing? No, back to work. And that's it. I wouldn't say reading books is bad because I have a very good friend and he learned a lot from certain books, but I can't read books. I don't have to focus, so I don't like it either way. I'm just sitting there. I think reading books is especially good because you're meditating in a certain way. But I meditate in my own ways. I meditate in going for a walk with my dog. It's talking with my parents. It's going out with my friends. That's meditating with me. Mm-hmm. That's meditating for me. So
clearing your mind.
Yes, clearing your mind is very important. I think everybody should do that, but everybody does that in their own way. But learning in terms of from books, never.
Okay. What about audiobooks? When you're traveling, when you're stuck in a train or a car? Or are you more of a podcast?
Yeah, I'm more of a YouTube guy. I like to see visuals. I'm
not good when you're driving. You don't want
to. True. That's facts. But when normally I'm just thinking. I like to think.
Okay.
I like to think, and when I'm doing active stuff, I like to work, and I like to. Whenever I really want to learn something, I want to see visual. I want to see a person. I want to hear a voice. I want to fucking, preferably, I want to see everything, because when that is the case, I can just completely observe it. And that's why I think that's the most valuable thing, because when you're listening to an audiobook, half of the time you're not even listening. You're not even actually listening. You're listening, but you're not listening. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you're
daydreaming.
Or you're doing something else. And I think thinking is great. Feeling and thinking is perfect. In terms of business, decisions you make, everything. It's good.
You've got a very strong mindset, especially for someone your age. You're light years ahead of where I was at your age, and many people. How have you gone on that path when other people haven't? Can you put it down to any one thing?
Yes, I think people that have, all my friends have achieved something very bad in their life. So I think that is really a pattern that I saw with my friends and with people that I know. Every single person that became successful that I know at a young age has experienced something very bad in their life before, because the pain is so deep that you just need to get out of that pain. You know what I mean? So for the people that have experienced something like that, they know for a fact deep in themselves that they will get there. Normally, whenever people have had an okay life in a certain way, everybody has experienced their own traumas and their own, problems. But um, it's about it. What I said. It's about back going to getting a mentor, getting a person that you feel comfortable with working with, that you can listen to, that you get inspired by, for you to be able to make the decision to grow, to learn. And action gives you results, whether positive or negative. You don't know. Nobody knows. Whatever action you take, but I at least know that the more actions you take, the faster you get to the right action, the right decision that gives you the right outcome.
Have you got any mentors that you look up to? But it could be mentors that you've met or mentors that you haven't, that people you just watch online from afar, that you like what they say, you've learned some things from it. Yeah.
I've had mentors, but it are not mentors that are here in the online world. It are
Okay.
different type of
Sometimes they're the
mentors.
best ones.
Yes, I would say so. Yeah, they learn me a lot. Yes,
Okay.
and
What about ones that are more publicly known? Anyone that you want to shout out or
um,
give credit to?
it's a
People
very
that
good
maybe people
question.
should follow apart from you, that they can learn something, that you learn something from.
Yes. I think that I cannot specifically say that based on my experience, because I've just learned a lot from doing.
Yeah.
When I'm watching YouTube, I'm watching very, very niche based specific videos
Yeah.
with channels that have 65 subscribers and 2 viewers. These types of channels, so people won't know anything about what I'm talking about. When it comes down to general people, like, Alex Ramosi is a very talented, good guy. I think Sam Ovens knows a lot of good stuff,
Yep.
and there will be a lot of couple other people, but
Hmm.
that's kind
They're
of
the ones
like
that come to mind.
the advice that I can give. I learned a lot from these people, but it's mainly the 65 subscriber channels with the 2 views that I learned the most from.
That's
That I learned the most
interesting.
from.
Okay.
It's not even, it doesn't, it has to do with business, but not even with the online info market. It's just completely different type of business than,
Okay.
but I learned a lot
Nice.
from that. Yes.
Okay. You mentioned in one of your videos about where you start the day is very important, in terms of having a clear mind. So how did you start today?
Um, I didn't do anything for the first hour. I was just like thinking, literally in my garden here in the Netherlands, thinking. I had water. I started to do. I went to the gym and I started working. My day is so boring. You won't even believe. People won't even believe. It's my life seems amazing on Instagram. I have amazing time with friends. I have amazing time with whatever. It's absolutely great. But most of my days are so boring. People wouldn't even want to change with. They won't even. They don't even know.
Yeah. Yeah. What you see online is the rewards, not the labor, right?
Of course,
Yeah.
you see the rewards. Yeah, because yeah, it's boring, man. It's
Yeah.
boring.
The hours and hours of work is the
I'm
part
working.
that,
I like work, so I'm working like 14 hours a day. I
yeah.
just like to work a lot, but it's like um, sometimes I don't like to work a lot, and then because my business is structured in a certain way, I can just create an efficiency for me. It just allows me to work 30 to 40 hours, But most
Yeah.
weeks I work 70 hours plus. But that's because I like to do it. I really like working. I get my fulfillment out of working.
Yeah. No, me too.
Yeah.
It's rewarding. It's like when you have a project and you're building something. I think that I read online that men are most happy when they're building something, and to me
Yes.
that kind of
Creating
resonates.
growth.
Purpose, gives you a
It's
purpose, right?
growth. Whether
Yeah.
that's going to the gym and you're building on your body, you're building on your
Mm.
business, you're building on your family, you're building on houses, you're physically building, mentally building. It's all building and creating and growing.
Yeah.
But what would you say yourself? I'm very curious. Is
What
like big products you're working on right now? What gives you the most fulfillment?
um I'm guilty of, I love building something, but then once it's live, I then kind of abandon it and then go to something else. And I should stick to one thing more for sure. So yeah, unfortunately, I always have a couple of different ideas on the go. But yeah, building something is always what wakes me up in the morning. Like to continue with that, and growing a business. So yeah, that's what gets me going.
Do you feel like you receive the rewards, the fruits from the things that you've built, or do you always build it and not really finish it? How does that work?
Hmm. Sometimes you start building something and then you kind of, as you're building it, you start to realize it's not going to work. Like sometimes you think the more you know, the more you don't know. You know that expression? Like the more you get into it, the more you realize there's 10 other
Of course.
roads that open up. So sometimes that can be the case. Sometimes I'll start one idea, then I have a better idea. I'm guilty of that. Like I have to admit, I'm guilty of that. So I should stick to one thing more for sure, like you did, to be fair. Because
Yes,
even though you
sticking to
pivoted,
one thing is
it
key.
was within the same orbit.
Absolutely. And that also gives a lot of credibility to the market, right? One thing that I want to add, one of the biggest advice that I can give, if I can give advice here, it's not financial advice, but it's just advice. Please document your journey. It's key. Documenting my journey has made me probably the most amount of money because people can scroll through my older YouTube videos and see exactly what I did. They can see exactly the action steps I took back then when I was making 10K a month, when I was making nothing. So documenting your journey is so powerful in terms of doing it from an emotional perspective yourself. Whenever you want to watch it back, whenever you want to let other people experience what you've experienced, you can hide it. You don't have to publicly launch it online, but document stuff. It's the best. It's literally the biggest proof that you can have. At the same time, you become a credible person. At the same time, you have something to, look forward to in the future. Whenever you want to watch back of how your journey was going, it's the best thing ever. Documenting your journey.
Yeah, I saw that you're going to do a separate channel to document the SaaS company. Is that right?
Correct. Yes.
Yeah.
You have watched my YouTube videos.
Yeah, I binged your channel, so I know.
Nice.
I learned
Man.
a few
I
things.
like that. Yes. No. I'm gonna document that. They're all unhidden. I can show you some after the podcast.
You've already been filming and
Of
documenting.
course.
There are already
three videos of an hour out. Like not published, but they're
Yeah.
they're set to be published. So,
Nice.
But that will happen in a half year, in 3 to 4 months.
I noticed one thing that you do differently is you don't advertise your website. You focus on starting conversations because you go for the Calendly link.
Of course.
That's unique, I think.
Do people need a human interaction or do they need some letters on a screen?
Yeah.
You can answer that question and then you know the answer to why I don't market my website.
Okay. Yeah, that's interesting. It's unique because I was like trying to find the website before, like just when I was researching.
Websites are unimportant, in my opinion. Completely unimportant.
I think they are. I think you're right. I think it's about, many people have scaled to 500,000 a month. Not many people, multiple people have done that without a website, just talking to people, right?
Yeah, and it depends on the ICP you're targeting, right? If you're targeting John from LinkedIn, who's 77, it would maybe be a good step to have a website.
Yeah.
But like my ICP doesn't need a website. No, not at all.
Okay. Any plans to build one, or are you just happy with the system you've got?
I'm happy with the system I have.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah, I can build one at a certain point whenever I feel like I need one. But do I feel like I need one? No, I don't feel so.
Okay. I want to thank you for your time today. And congratulations on all your success. You are killing it in everything you're doing. I look forward to seeing your SaaS platform when that's released and how that can help people, maybe help me as well. If someone wants to grow their business and they want to work with you, how should they get in touch?
I don't want them to book in a call with me. I want them to watch my YouTube first to pre-sell themselves to make sure that Nik is the right fit for me
to learn everything they
can watch my YouTube channel. Yes, exactly. Nik Setting is my YouTube channel. They can check my Instagram, same Nik Setting. And whenever you feel like it's the right time for you to be able to take action, these people can shoot me a message, and I'm happy to onboard them. For them to be able to pay me in the DMs and then get started from there.
Follow at Nik Setting, right, on Instagram.
At Nik Setting, correct.
Yep.
On Instagram and YouTube.
And Instagram and YouTube. Cool. Yes. Thanks, Nik. Thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you, Simon. I appreciate it. It was a great conversation.